Peace. Peace, Barclay. Give me a minute. I don't know why you here, Barclay?
Islam.
You know, I'll be messing with this computer, man. I don't be knowing what I'll be doing.
Yeah, those nobles hit me. I don't even remember which one it is. Hit me about the Thursday. He said he wanted to confirm it was
Yep.
a $25 deposit, and so I
It-
told him I didn't know what you guys had discussed. That he just needed to be honorable to whatever you guys discussed, and I was just there to do my part.
Islam. Islam, noble. Islam.
So, but we exchanged phone numbers. So I got his cell phone now, so we can talk through text.
Okay. That'll work. I'm trying to see how I make my background bigger, but you know, I'm not technically inclined. My computer was tripping yesterday. I had to reset everything, so I don't know what's going on.
It's all good.
But
We had a good session yesterday.
gratitude, gratitude.
Peace, peace, peace.
Islam, noble. Islam.
Wow,
How you doing today?
amazing. Made my first business payment today, so
You say you did what, noble?
made my first business payment today.
I couldn't even hear you. I'm sorry.
I made my first business payment today.
What's that, noble? I,
Gas. Did my gas card.
Yes, sir.
They, charged it yesterday, paid it today, and popped up. I paid it.
yes, sir. I'm
So,
telling you.
Wow,
they
welcome,
really
welcome,
well
welcome.
done.
Islam, noble. Islam, the process.
For hooking it all up.
Gratitude. Gratitude. And like I say, that's what we're here to do. We're here to build a strong, strong team, nobles, for we all walk sharp knives. I always give the analogy. I don't want to be the only sharp knife in the drawer. You guys are not butter knives.
All right.
So gratitude, man, to progress and growth, man, and honesty and trust, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So we got, what is it? It's 4:34. Let's do our Moorish American prayer. And then when I do the introduction, we're going to get right into it and then proceed with our workout.
All right. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen. Ashe, Ash'ar, Shalom Alaikum. Islam, peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, nobles. Gratitude for any of our guests. If you like the teachings, and you're on our social media, I mean, don't hesitate to give a small donation to Cash App $KG Bay. If you like the teachings, if not, that's okay. When it's on your heart, we will hope you give a charitable contribution. Please subscribe to our Temple and School page. Burning Bush is BBT. What is it? BBT, Tabernacle and School. And man, just support what we're doing. So with that being said, nobles, I also like to give our divine warning, because a lot of times, we do some things, nobles, and we get outside of ourselves. You said, and where you should start your journey. I don't want to start off, and when people ask me things when I'm doing a lecture, please, I don't want to go off context when I speak. So if you've never been to a teaching, that's not the right time to ask me where you should start. My advice to you is to inbox me, goodmancurry@gmail.com, and I will have one of my muftis email you. When a person asks me where to start as a teacher, you start in school. I have a school. I'm giving a lecture on here trying to bring Moors into a schoolhouse without all the dogmatic behaviors. So if you're interested in learning more science systematically, which I always say on my Instagram and on my YouTube pages, become a student. That's the only way you can learn. and learn your divine creed and nationality and learn to be upright. There's no other way. I don't have a quick fix for you. I don't nationalize no one. I don't make fake IDs or anything. So gratitude. And see, Nobles, I'm on my YouTube page, and that's the first thing I like about this brother named Christopher Bliss. He's on here like, this is my first time at a lecture. And so that's why I ask a lot of people, when you're at a lecture, you don't ask the person, hey man, where you get that hat from? While they're speaking, they're at a lecture. You know, you don't say, hey man, or hey man, where can I get an ID card from? That's not my concern. Islam, Nobles?
Wow.
So as I'm teaching, I always like to start with the basics. So that's why I tell all Moors, if you want to learn more science, you should become a student and a member. You see we on here privately. I teach privately, Sunday school on Zoom, but I come on social media to bring people together. We have a full library as well. So with that being said, I want to give our divine warning to a lot of Moors. And it reads, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and I'm in the flesh. I add health and wealth. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member who or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. And when I said any group of member who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, that's esoterically and exoterically, because the temple and the prophet should dwell within your bosom. Islam?
Islam.
This is what I'm telling about when a person talk about a temple that's built with hands. The temple built with hands is nothing if it's filled with fools. It's nothing but a circus or a traveling circus. It's the vessel, and wherever the vessel moves, the temple goes. Because if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. And if they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their cards, buttons, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that we do our part in protecting the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By the order of our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum, ayah asha ayah, hotep, peace, peace, peace. Whatever word, whatever manifestation, whatever language that you give that manifestation praise, so be it. Islam?
Islam.
Islam. We just
That just resonated with me like so esoterically and exoterically.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Noble. We just giving some basics because I don't want Moors to get it misconstrued when I say the reason why a lot of brothers and sisters are lost, because they're not teaching the basics. And you must know how to do a chest pass before you pass behind your back. I mean, come on. Before you do a look away pass, I hope you know how to do a regular pass before you get all fancy with it. And see, when Moors always talking about they deal with civics, you're not dealing with civics. You're dealing with colorable law because you're confusing and causing confusion. And when you confuse and when you cause confusion, we're not correcting. And the word should be used for correction. That's why a lot of us that call ourselves sheiks, those ones, they're afraid of it because you have no base, and your base is your divine creed. The divine comes first. That's a fact. So as we jump into I'm just going to deal with the little basics because I'm a Moor. I don't care what nobody else call themselves. That's who you are. You want to, that's fine. But I operate on the tenets that's honorable. So let's go through a couple of the tenets. This is our Moorish Science Temple of America Divine Constitution and Bylaws. We all should know that, but I want to put emphasis on Act starting 4, and I'm gonna go to 7 for this can resonate to to a couple of people's souls, for we can understand the simplicity of understanding the basics. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. I mean, Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Okay, I'm crazy. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, must proclaim it. I hope you know what proclaim mean. Proclaim it ain't some goofball that you done met on the internet talk about, he finna make me some ID and make me some passport. And I'm saying, you got to be that stupid, huh? But anyway, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part, that they may know that they are a part, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government. I hope these words resonate on us and make it make sense, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men, all women, all children that's coming from this lineage must proclaim our free national name, must proclaim our free national name, must proclaim our free national name. I'm making specifics on these with more. Go, I'm a national. You're not listening. What makes you is your free national name. You an American. What makes you a Moorish American? Because you're a Moorish American, born in America with Moroccan descent. If you're not an American, well, go on back where you say you're from. Because I'm an American. What type of American I am? Moorish. What type of American I am? A more American. I ain't going to play with all that hoopla. Well, Moorish, whatever, man. Please. What type of American I am? Moorish American. What's my nationality? Moorish American. What's my race? Asiatic. What's my status? And listen clearly. I said status. I said, what's my status? What's my status? So when I say these specifics, I hope we are really, really getting the wax out your ear. I said my status is what? Free white. A European won't even put white on it if he know anything. He'll pick other. I'm telling you, because he know. Your free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained our prophet then, ordained myself as a leader in the flesh, and today to lead my people that know my voice, to redeem our people, to redeem myself from sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwest and southwest shores of Africa. That's Bible too. And see, when you get the Moorish, this is something I said, they got to be crazy. But how could they say they're going to be Moabites and Ruth the Moabitess? Tamar, they is totally asinine. And then for the religious brother that call himself a Hebrew Israelite, I love them. But to say you're not a Moor is asinine. And that's why we separate. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts. Of what acts? All of uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a body of brothers, man, not a building. When you meet a sheikh, when you meet an ordained a brother that can teach, or an empress that can teach, that's anointed and consecrated, that come from the barrels of that and come to the masses, we must spread and we must learn, because that's the only way. We're going to learn systematically. Not saying that's the only way, but if I'm dealing with a brother that's educated, consecrated, and understand the other side of life, and done been there, been anointed, done been through all the barrels, I'd rather deal with that person than somebody that's a shade tree mechanic all day, because I do have a choice, and I'm always going to choose what's right, what's better. Come on, man. That don't even make sense. You chose the right mate for yourself.
Yep.
You know? Come on. We do this the right way. I don't have time to be playing with nobody. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Hold on, let me jump back before that. When I be telling people, I'm not everybody's sheep, just like everybody's not your mother. I'm a teacher. If a person want along, they must be willing to go through the ranks of just like members. I reach back. I come on here and do teachings for small donations. I teach systematically. So I want people to know that. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America or the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple of America. We are a school. We are a house of academia. The same way our prophet set up, he wanted us to take that further. The Moorish Science Temple of America was just the beginning of something that we're supposed to take further. How are we going to educate our children and you got all this religious dogma in the temple and the sheik came and created a school of thought for Moors? That's what we should be gravitating to. That's already consecrated, created, and anointed that teaches in real life. This is not a secret. I teach babies. You know?
Islam.
I teach babies. I teach at university, so this stuff is not a secret. When Moors say this Moorish science is a secret, where's the secret at? How is it a secret? I'm on a college campus every week like this. Speaking like this, it's not a secret. You are entitled to the name of faithful husband. You must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey. And in Moorish science, obey don't mean you no slave. And I'm glad. I remember me and my Mufti Malik was talking about that when you was talking to a lady at work. See, I remember everything, or it might not have been at work. And you were saying, "Hey, I don't know what you saying, Empress. In Moorish science, submit ain't what you think it is.
Yeah.
Submit ain't what you think it is, Empress. Well, what you mean submit? Submit to what? We equal. I keep telling our brothers and sisters, the woman is Mayat, the guard that produces food and life. How am I a king without a queen? You're only a good dude. We honor the Empress. It takes 100 and 100. It's no 50-50. The Empress sits on the throne with us nobles. But it's a certain way that the Empress must operate in this movement. We're not going to take no crap. We're not going to take no whole bunch of batteries trying to throw yourself off on us, because that happened already. Because I don't owe nobody nothing. Period. Man or woman, I don't owe you nothing. You are everything to Allah. Period.
Obey is unconditional, or obey or submit is unconditional.
Man, they got to understand, Malik, when I deal with etymology, I deal with linguistics. So the first thing with a person, when we start talking in the spirit, you get a certain individual. Oh, see, they talking about submission. They don't really, we ain't no religious Muslims. We Moorish Americans. You ain't read the Women's Auxiliary. You ain't studying. You getting this science strictly from some Negroes on the internet. Some Southern Baptist Moors. Playing that game, talk about the woman can't wear the fez. And I teach what the white fez with the gold tassel represents the Asiatic woman. What are you talking about? The Daughters of American Revolution stole your science and try to make it just like foreign masonry. You are the Eastern Star. Come on, we teach this.
You get that? The daughters of the American Revolution, not the mothers.
They ain't listening, Malik. They ain't listening. We speak over a lot of people's head because they jumping into criminality. Talk about they dealing with civics. And the divine comes first. And they know it. The divine comes first. All Moorish Americans, sons and daughters, must obey fathers and mothers and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting humanity. And this is where Moors be getting words misconstrued because people be falling for the Jedi mind trick. This is what it says. This is what it says. It says, and mothers, be industrious and become a part. And more, we talk about our prophet said, be industrious. Yes, he did. He said, continue to build. He said, continue to be righteous. He said, continue to build your own industry, your own schools. He didn't say, you be no criminal. He didn't tell you to squat no house. He didn't tell your people to go drive it out. No, he didn't tell you to do none of this criminality. None of this. He said, be honorable. Stand upright. Understand the law. Operate in the parameters. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. Do they understand why our prophet said, keep your body clean with water?
Bless your field.
Come on, man. They're not listening. We're talking about this esoterically, and it's esoterically science. See, everybody want to use these magical words, and then you look at their life, they in shambles. Man, you a shade tree mechanic. You only do this part-time. Man, this is a lifestyle for me. I'm always in the laboratory with my test tubes and my beakers, because this is what I was born to do. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be a big-time athlete. That's what I thought it was going to be. But I always was trained. I always was an educator. I was always a leader. I was always a pillar. And Allah put me in a position to not only be able to be a pillar to my people, but I done moved all the way from Flint, Michigan, Mutif Malik. I'm in Red State, Arizona. You know?
Yep.
I don't know what happened to my internet. It went dark, y'all. My screen went dark. But
For online.
you say what? It always be. What I'll do is I'll log back on. So give it a minute, Nobles. I told you my computer had been acting real crazy for the last couple weeks. So please forgive me for that. I'm gonna have to switch and go on my other phone. 1 second. The religious folks will say that's the devil. Let me stop messing with people, man. Yeah, man, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I might have to get a new one. I might have to get a new computer. Yeah, he said my screen went dark, but you still spreading the light. Gratitude. But I still got my other media platform on, so just bear with me, y'all. I don't know what's happening. ISIS, what you do to my screen? Yes, you did. But I think my Noble's coming on our temple page, so I'll give them a minute. I don't want to be too long. But give me a second, y'all. We'll take a little quick recess. I think I got it working, y'all. Computer always be doing that sometimes. But we deal with technology. You see, look, I told you my Nobles were going to jump right on the Temple and School page. Didn't I tell you? That's why I love my brothers, man. We know each other like a book. But yeah, Noble, my page just went out. I'm rebooting it real fast, Malik. Because I don't want to be too long. So gratitude to everybody for patience. So I can find all the information for the temple on your YouTube page. No, not on my YouTube page. You can go on my Instagram page, burningbushtabernacle.ts. Or you can go on, we have a web page. Our Temple and School web page is, what is it, Isis? Yeah. No, the web page, BBT what? Yeah, the one Malik made. No, Isis, the web page, woman. Empress. The one, the BBT page, Isis? The web page? Lord it be. She don't remember already, y'all. Ain't that sad? Let's see what this work, y'all. Malik, what's the BBT web page, Noble? My Noble gonna type it on here. Hold on. Cause my sister over there acting crazy. Talk about what is it? I don't know. You do know, girl. I have fun with my family. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come back on. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, our Temple and School page is BBT is bbtsciencetemple.com. Sorry, yeah, my computer just shut off on me, man. I don't know what happened. but I know y'all was still there.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody was asking our Temple and School page. It's BBT Science Temple and School, or bbtsciencetemple.com. www.bbtsciencetemple.com. That's our web page. Now we also on social media, Instagram at burningbushtabernacle.ts, which we on right now. And we're gonna stop doing a lot of social media things real soon. We're just trying to show people what we do. And we're gonna be strictly private. As you see, a lot of my nobles are on Zoom. So we do a lot of things on Zoom, but we post on social media and we ask for small donations, you know? But we do have a membership. We have land. We're building. We're getting ready to have our second meet and greet. You know, we're gonna have a second meet and greet. So it's gonna be real nice. So, but anyway, with that being said, as we proceed, Noble, we had a little quick delay. I'm just giving an introduction. I'm gonna get into our small introduction of our supreme mathematics, but I like to set the highlights. I'm gonna jump over a few keys. What type of keys? I call them 101 keys. These are when I say I shoot from the lip, not the hip. This is things that we should understand. So our 101s is still, I'm giving some of our elementary wisdom that keep us on our square. Islam? We should know who made us, which is Allah. But I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to jump to one of our keys, 5, and who is Noble Drew Ali? He is Allah's prophet. Then I want to jump right to 6. Listen to this clearly. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. Did you hear that, Malik?
Islam, thought of Allah manifested in the flesh.
So when Moors do that and they get to talk about, oh, they love all these, we honor all the prophets, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, all this that we never seen. But then you gonna hate your own brother and talking about this, or he say he God. I am God, you are God, because we made in the image of Allah. A prophet is an angel clothed in the flesh. Oh, how you gonna like Noble Drew Ali and then you're not gonna like Clarence X? You're not even gonna like the Black Hitler of Harlem. A lot of people don't even know who the Black Hitler of Harlem is, do they?
No.
Do any of y'all know who the Black Hitler of Harlem is? See? And this what I be saying what Moors be doing. When you get all these Moors with this set trip and dumb shit. Oh, our prophet, they say they honor everything about Noble Drew Ali, but where you going to get the science from? We honor all the laws and the prophets, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, some that you never seen. But what about Sheikh Anadia? What about Ivor Van Sertima? What about Clarence X? What about John Henry Clark? What about the Black Hitler of Harlem? What about Abdul Hamid Solomon from Egypt? What about Deuce Muhammad? Before our prophet that brought this, that ancient nobles and mystic right. What about all these brothers and sisters before then? You just gonna deal with somebody in present time and you don't understand that we get the science from our elders and from other Moors that was before us and we supposed to take it farther, but we act like we some gangbangers. This is stupid.
Empire, Mali Empire.
Come on. A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in what? The flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. It says to save nations. It didn't say do a whole bunch of this fraudulent shit. It didn't say act like you know law because you got some goofy ass black laws dictionary and you get mad when the true scholar elder tell you that they don't use that in no court because that ain't nothing but a damn dictionary.
One nation, many cultures, huh?
And they get mad with that crowd. I'm like, man, because you a liar. And all these Moors just think they can buy a book and that's going to make them a scientist. Man, I don't care if you got no medical dictionary and you got terms to know how to speak a term, to know how to separate a child from the head. Man, if you ain't never did it, I don't give a damn how many books you read. Gone. Because you a charlatan. And Moors don't be wanting to admit that they charlatans. They be mad. Who is the founder of the Moor Science Temple? Noble Drew Ali. But then, who was Jesus? This is what I don't understand, prophets. Moors. He was a prophet of Allah. And then you get all these Moors with all these memes. Are we following white man Jesus? Or why do we follow this white? Who told you this was a white man gospel? Where are you getting this from? Who controlling your narrative? Because you're getting caught up in stories. Who was Jesus? And then we get scientific. You got to know why our prophet used the words Jesus. But if you're a scholar and a linguistics and understand etymology, you know it was never a J in the Hebrew dialect. But if we're going to use this symbology, yes. But if we're going to use this symbology, he was a prophet of Allah. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. And then you get these Moors, and I tell them when I see these paperwork, and they all with these Moors always talking about this, Malik, Moor Science Temple this, Moor Science Temple that, with all this crazy, goofy paperwork. And I say, what tribe are you from? Huh? And I say, see, you lying, because we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. That's Bible. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David, the same where we from. Who were his father and mother? Joseph and Mary. You see?
Jamaicans got it.
You see?
Tribe of Judah.
Look, will I give a brief lineage? This is our one-on-ones. That's why I be like, these Moors tripping. Through the genealogy of Jesus, which is Joshua, some of the great fathers through which so-called Jesus, Joshua came, Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph by Mary. Why did Allah send Jesus, which is Joshua, to the earth? To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. What was the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. Oh, but you're going to diss something. Well, in the Bible, we're talking about Ruth. Who was Ruth? Come on. Who was Ruth?
Moabitess.
Come on, man. Where is Morocco Empire? Northwest of Maxima. What is the modern name for Maxima? Africa. Come on, man. What is an angel?
Whatever they want to call it. Same.
Yep. And Jesus, and the name Jesus means justice. What is an angel? An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. We got to say that again. What is an angel? We ain't talking about nothing with no goofy wings you see on TV. An angel, a prophet, is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. Come on. Right?
You know what? There's a TV show that I watched, just to see what they talk about. It was called like Lucifer.
Yep.
And all those people are manifested in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't even get that symbology. I watch it because I was like, oh, they got some good stuff on here talking about good information and people paying attention.
We don't. We look at things in generality. We don't look at the symbology. We don't look at the parable and the analogy in it. Because I just broke down. Look, Noble. Look how simple this stuff is. The science is so simple, and Allah make this our teachings. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. That's key 6, right?
Yep.
That's key 6. Turn to key 38. What is an angel? An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. What are we talking about? We talking about me. We talking about you. We talking about those that's coming to deliver a divine message. We don't let those powers that be and these others get us caught up in fraudulent concealment. So, come on. So I'm a dab. See, I'm never going to get you in connotated teachings. I'm always going to give you the root teachings. I'm going to give, if any nobles want Clock of Destiny Volume 1 and 2, you can get these from PDF from me for a small donation of $40. You send a $40.
Where is that recorded? Where are those books recorded at?
The Library of Congress.
Say it one more time.
The Library of Congress.
Ding, 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 ding.
The Europeans use this. I told you they sit at the footstool. I don't talk disrespectfully. I'm anointed and consecrated. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying what it is.
That means they know who you are. You don't know that. You just don't know who you are.
Point blank. I will give you the originals and I will teach it to you. I don't even need the book. I will teach the science because the science got to be in you. Like the book of Eli, you can burn the books up. The wisdom is supposed to be in man. These ain't nothing but written words.
Another symbology.
You see? You see?
Do a movie.
That's all. So I'm gonna give a little introduction, Noble. You said burningbushtabernacle.ts. 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 But what is Supreme Mathematics? I'm also on Instagram. I forget my Instagram name. Ibna Hakeem El Bey, I think. IBNA Hakeem El Bey. I think that's my name on Instagram. But anyway, what is Supreme Mathematics? I'm going to give a little introduction because it just baffles me, nobles, how all of us brothers that's operating on supreme wisdom get the set tripping, acting like Crips and Bloods. Oh, I'm a 5%er. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, I'm a Moor. Oh, I'm a dragon slayer. Oh, I'm an Egyptologist. You hear I slid that in, Malik? I said I'm a dragon slayer. Because a nigger will do anything. A nigger will say anything to argue with you. I say, okay, you a Hebrew? Okay, I'm with that. You a Egypt? I'm with that. What? You a Jew? I'm with that. Okay. Okay.
Tallest in your name, tribe of Judah.
You don't want no light? Let me give you some light. Let me impart some knowledge, wisdom on you. Let me illuminate you real fast. Let me synchronize something to get you out of that mad place, to get you into this joy. Because I understand your religion. I'm not stripping that. It's one nationality, many cultures. I'm trying to synchronize something, make you a complete fifth, to bring out your nationality and your spirituality, that make you walk as a what? 5, that make you walk as a pentagram, that make you become Allah. You so caught up with names, you so caught up with that Jesus stuff that you missing the manifestation of yourself. Because we don't pray outside of ourselves. This is more science. So I'll give a little, I'm a tippy toe with Supreme Mathematics, and then we're going to pack our bags up and we're going to leave. Supreme Mathematics is a term that is popular used by a lot of the brothers that I love, the nation of gods and earth, or the 5% nations, which was founded by one of our nobles, Clarence X. All praises due to Allah, to the brother. Father Allah. You know? And Supreme, and this science, when I tell brothers, when you a scientist, man, and when you study, when you in the laboratory with your test tubes and your beakers, man, I deal with ancient. I know where the wisdom come from. And you got to give credit to the science, because the science is older than man. You got to understand that. The science is older than me. I'm not the orchestrator of the science. I'm just the illuminator of it. I'm a mathematician using my tools.
It's called ancient wisdom.
Yes. That's all. And so we're going to deal with the supreme mathematics, or the numerological system of assigning qualitative values to the decimal number 0 through 9 that work in conjunction with a system called supreme alphabet, which serve as a form of astrosophy or numerology to assign values to the meanings of, we call letters of the so-called English alphabet and words spelled in English. A lot of times we do this Kabbalistically, or when we do these word games, gematria. When I tell you Kabbalistically spelling, when a lot of people that understand science, they'll write some Kabbalistically to get you off of it, and you would think it's spooky because you don't know how to read, or you don't know the spell that they may have cast upon you. Islam? But the supreme mathematical numerological system closely resembles Kabbalah numerology. Closely resemble because it's on the same pillars if you understand mathematics, which is not surprisingly, since both systems were influenced by similar monotheistic religious traditions, Judaism and Islam. When I talk about the triple rows, that's why, how can a brother say he's an adapt and he don't understand the symbology of the triple row of the adapt chamber, the synchronicity of those religious rites? You just playing with people, and they just playing with you. But supreme mathematics is more than just breaking the alphabet down from A to Z, because we know A is Allah, B is be born, we know C is see, all that. We know the Z is zigzag, zig, meaning, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We get all that. We get all that. And an alternate version of supreme mathematics numerology system was developed, and it was called the 12 Jewels for the decimal numbers 1 through 12. And the 12 Jewels numerology system, it follows, we call it knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, God, clothing, shelter, love, peace, happiness. You understand what I'm saying? All these things that we agree on, we synchronizing it. But a lot of people like to chop and screw it. This ain't DJ Screw. You chopping and screwing things that come from the original. So let's deal with the source instead of taking things and separating ourselves. So when we deal with the supreme mathematics, the numerology, we know the knowledge equals facts, foundation of all existence, equals light, equals sun, equals what? The original man, or the 666, the 6 protons, the 6 neutrons, the 6 electrons. We understand that wisdom. I'm breaking down numerology equals spoken and active knowledge equals water, equal vital building blocks of life, equals original woman, equals reflection of knowledge, equals moon, equals knowledge plus the reflection of knowledge equals wisdom. That's that 1 + 1 equaling that 2. Walk with this numerology of this supreme mathematics. Understanding. Understanding equals show and prove. Completion of knowledge equals clear comprehension equals original child equals star equals love. The bond between man and woman or knowledge and wisdom. Culture or freedom. Culture equals the way of life equals the language equals wisdom. And customs, what they like to call, are you a cult? No, this is a culture or customs. You got to understand etymology or etymon, ways and actions. Freedom equals free. Mind equals no restraints on the way you live and the way you understand, and proud to be a Moorish American. Power or refinement. Equality, God, build or destroy. Born, cipher. I'm jumping down because I don't want to be too long. I give you the God equals supreme being equals, they say black, but I'm going to use black as the melanin. So the melanin man who is original, supreme ruler of the universe equal everything equals the sun, the moon, the stars, man, woman, and child equals in what? Life. When you see the so-called 6-point star, you got one coming together, the other coming together. You got the Ankh in the middle creating life. That's what? The Trinity. Build or destroy. Build equals elevate, illuminate, mentality of self and others. That's what we're doing. Build or destroy. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Nobles, please respect the teachings. Please respect the teachings. I'm trying to teach. If you want to ask something, man, I just don't give out information. Give a donation like anybody else to do if they want counseling. Come on, man. Respect me. I love everybody. But let's stay in context, please. Build, elevate, mentality of self and others. Addition of positive energy. Destroy, ruin by allowing negative to outweigh positive. Born equals completion of existence. To manifest from knowledge, completeness in itself. What are Moors manifesting? If that's why I tell Moors, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. What are you manifesting? Because I can tell you what my nobles manifesting. We manifesting, we building, we're farmers. We're growing things. Cipher equals a whole, equals the womb, equals all in existence, equals a circle, equals 360 degrees, equals 120 of knowledge, plus 120 of wisdom, plus 120 of understanding. Understanding. Cash App, $ KG Bay. Understanding. I tell a lot of Moors this. I say in the real world, I do this in real life. I help set up businesses. All my nobles have their businesses set up. I counsel. I read contracts. A workman is due of his hire. We must understand that. If not, what are we working to achieve? I'll give you a little bit of sacred geometry and mathematics. I'll give you a little bit of that. What time we got? Thank you, Isis. I'll give you a little bit of this. But when we talk about symbols and mathematical objects, we got to understand that those are signs, signals, insignias, words, or phrases used to represent the various abstract concepts and ideas in mathematics. And examples of mathematical objects include numbers, functions, formulas, groups, sets, points, lines, shapes, all this detail that we must understand. That's why when anybody deal with me, Noble Barclay, Noble Alonzo, what do I say? When you're dealing with me, you must get rid of everything except mathematics. Islam? Off top. What do we say? Off top, when you're dealing with me, I say, I'm not here to make nobody believe in nothing because you should care what I believe. I'm not here. I must prove all things and hold fast to what is good. I say deal with mathematics of geometry. This fez I had on is a mathematical equation. This fez that I have on my head is a mathematical equation. My master's graduation cap is a mathematical equation. This tassel is a mathematical equation. This mundane ball is a mathematical equation. The 4 holes on my fez is a mathematical equation. This navel is a mathematical equation. The tassels around my fez is a mathematical equation. The circumference of my fez is a mathematical equation. When I turn the damn fez inside out, it's a mathematical equation. It becomes the damn Liberty Bell. What are we talking about? Come on, Noble. This is the saving power. That's why Moors going to jail, because they don't want the divine. They want some trickery. The geometry, the symbol for a written mathematical concept. And those are symbols that closely and clearly correspond to the concept that they intend to represent. So how you gonna say you walking on your square? And why you see a lot of Moors when they doing business, they'll never have that fez on. They'll have a baseball cap or they'll have some goofy stuff on because they know what they doing beforehand. They just hoping that you stupid. They hoping that you will roll more. They hoping that you're not connected to nothing. So you can't test their spirit and you don't have nothing to compare to. And when you have nothing to compare to, you think that's righteous. And I tell you, it's fugazi. And since mathematics is the methodological foundation of human understanding, nobles, the geometry or symbols used to express and represent any mathematical concept could and should be cherished, revered, and considered sacred. So if I just told you this is a mathematical equation and the person that's under it is a mathematical equation, it's sacred. That means it's sacred to you. That means that we should anoint it and give it its due and deal with the righteousness that our brother is a mathematical sacred equation. There's nothing wrong with that. The mathematics and geometry of the blueprint or the schematic that enable the construction of a house that provides safety and security, the electricity to cook food that provides nourishment, and the building of a car that provides transportation could all be considered sacred since these objects have become almost necessary for everyday life. When I tell Moors, would you rather deal with the electricity or the switch, Malik?
The electricity.
Because see, a lot of nobles, they done got caught up in the pageantry. They like, give me the switch, give me the switch. And they just going off man-made knowledge. But see, we operate on wisdom, and wisdom comes from the great God Allah. And that electricity comes from the great God Allah. Water comes from the great God Allah. That's electricity.
Well, they always thought they was taught that they needed a middleman, a mediator.
Come on, noble.
And they connotatively get that, through the Bible.
I'm just a guide in the map.
Too.
Islam, noble.
It says in their Bible, you can come directly to me.
Islam.
You need a mediator.
Islam. We come together. When two or more gathered in my name, there I am. I'm just a map. I'm just a guide. I'm a prophet and angel in the flesh. I'm a God and you are a God. I'm an administrator of these teachings. That's all. I'm an administrator of these teachings. This is one body, many parts. Come on.
One nation.
Come on, noble. And when the word sacred is used, it does not mean sacred in the religious sense of the word. So I hope more stay in the context, which would involve prayer, meditation, or some chanting, but sacred in the definition, nobles, or the context of the word as something that should be greatly appreciated and valued. So when you say your brother's giving you sacred wisdom, or they say they a sheikh and an adapt, that's something sacred. That's something that should be greatly appreciated and valued beyond regular blueprints, schematics, renderings, symbols, graphs, writings, artwork used to represent various concepts and ideas that could be considered sacred. Mathematical analysis into the geometry of nature. When we say 360 is just the sum of material wisdom, 720 is the total sum of material and spiritual wisdom. The adapt must master his higher self. He must master the physical and the mental. If not, you might as well cut half of your body off because you're not operating 720.
Islam.
We operate 720. We operate as a mathematical equation. Structures, patterns that when combined and incorporated with mathematical objects yield the sacred geometry of nature. Yields the sacred geometry of nature. Y'all better listen to me. You talk about you can't put the circle in the square. We can. All my mathematicians can. They both 360 degrees, and we can put the misquoted swastika in there and turn them all, and they all gonna match. Just different parameter, because they don't know mathematics, and they definitely don't know how to use the compass and the square, or they wouldn't be using those blasphemous words.
All you gotta do is draw a circle, cut it into fours, and open it up. There's your square.
Or your swastika, or your circle. I mean, I don't get these brothers, Malik. It's a joke. They'll fail. They'll fail. And you don't want your kid to fail? Or hear someone teaching your kid systematically the right answer, but you like someone, and so you say, well, I like them. I don't care if they gave my kid all the wrong answers. That's madness.
For real.
Sacred geometry of growth and creation. So the mathematical analysis of nature has revealed that in order for things to grow balance without changing shape, they naturally grow in what? How do they grow, y'all? Watch this. I asked the sheik this. What you mean? I said, listen, I said, if you're going to say this, I said, mathematical analysis of nature has revealed that in order for things to grow balanced without changing shape, they naturally grow in a what type of what? Or with what type of spirals?
With what type of what?
They naturally grow in a bloop bloop spirals.
Circle.
Or a,
Circular spiral.
or I'm trying to use the proper vernacular. It started with an L. Logar.
Logical spiral.
Logarithmic spirals.
Logarithmic spiral.
There you go. Or growth spirals. Or those growth spirals. You see? The logarithmic or that growth spirals that Noble Barclay was just speaking on are described mathematically in a polar or coordinates. A lot of mathematicians don't know what I'm talking about. In parentheses, you got the R quotation mark, then you got like the squiggly line and circle. It's like it's like a mathematical equation. It's like an exponential power function, like a R equals AE, B, O with the line in the middle, where B is called the growth factor. And when graph, mathematicians know what I'm talking about. And when they take on the appearance of the symbol for the quantity 9, I'm going back to 9 again. That's why I tell Morris, you can't deal with a person that don't like math. How they gonna go back to what saved you? The root, 9 to the 9 to the 9th power in the decimal numbering system. In fact, the symbol for the mathematical constant E, which is approximately 2.718, also resembles that same growth spiral. The Greek letter mathematical symbol, the theta. The theta comes from the Egyptian symbol for the sun, that dot in the middle. Plants, animals, weather, humans, galaxy, all naturally grow in that logarithmic spiral in order to maintain balance. There we go with that Mayat. Who is Mayat? The woman. What is the woman? The garden that produced food and life. See, these nobles be mad when I speak. Oh, the woman is not God. I said the woman is Mayat, the garden that produces food and life. It takes both of us. What you talk about? You so mad. Well, I don't want to be in no world without my empress. You can take your mad man ass on somewhere else. I'm dealing with Mayat. I'm dealing with what's real. You see? See, I'm dealing with science, man. I'm dealing with who we are. We got to understand that the ancient Egyptians conceptualized that logarithmic growth spiral that increases for every quarter term called the what? The golden spiral, where the growth factor was related to the golden ratio. My so-called adapts know what I'm talking about. Oh, no, they don't. The golden ratio, them sheiks don't know. They don't know, y'all. The golden ratio between two numbers is when the ratio of the sum of the numbers to the larger number is equal to the ratio of the larger number to the smaller number. The golden ratio is approximately equal to 1.61803339887 and is written in a mathematical symbolic notation by the Greek letter pi, which is basically a merged 1 and a 0 or an I and an O for input and output. SOXO in computer science and was derived from the Egyptian Ankh symbol. Look at the Egyptian Ankh symbol. I just broke it down to you what it was, the 1 and the 0. The golden ratio and the golden spiral were considered sacred because they were formed in nature, and thus the golden ratio and the golden spiral were regularly incorporated in Egyptian architecture, design, and blueprints. I'm telling you, man, a teacher will teach. A teacher will teach and won't confuse anyone.
Wow.
A teacher teaches. See? And then the teacher know how to build. I ain't just no one with no in no science class telling you to dissect a frog. I know how to dissect a frog. It was considered sacred because they were found in nature, and thus the golden ratio and the golden spiral were regularly incorporated, y'all. So when we talk about sacred geometry of destruction, just as the golden ratio and the golden spiral or the logarithmic growth spiral can be used to mathematically show growth and creation, it can also be used to demonstrate the natural mathematics of destruction. So I want us to understand that. Just like how Hitler break things down and how he take things and destroy it, I want us to understand this. So with that being said, man, I'll show y'all a symbol.
Oh yeah. 9 to the 9 to the 9.
That's 9. And And next week, I'll jump in Clock of Destiny and I'll deal with numerology. I'll show you how I'll leave y'all nobles with this, the keeping your hippocampus. Because we getting ready to do our workout. I'll leave y'all with this. The Greek, Hebrew, and Latin of the Roman cross order definitely cannot go beyond the Arabic alphabet. Our Moorish forefathers' code of alphabet and mathematics has proven that the misnomer, and I'm using their language, the misnomer European, aka white people, no disrespect to no one, have no culture of their own. The Moorish color code in electronics, which describes the unit of resistance, current, and voltage, the magnetic law, the atomic energy is as follows. 0 symbolizes black, 1 symbolizes brown, 2 symbolizes red, 3 symbolizes orange, 4 yellow, 5 green, 6 blue, 7 violet, 8 gray, 9 symbolizes light or white. Our Moorish forefathers had harnessed atomic energy and employed it for both good and ill many centuries before the red skin bloods of the Patagonia had become educated by the cultured Moors. The atomic energy is new to the misnomer European people, but not to us Moors. The Christian race and color scheme was founded upon the Moorish color code of electronics. It is definitely impossible for a nation that is dominated by various secret orderisms to solve its economic and social problems in the atomic age. So you might ask yourself, how can one help himself and others without exposing his secrets? So if I say I'm here to help y'all, I got to give y'all the secrets. And it's nothing secret, it's sacred. So as we close, the code of mathematics scaling from 0 to 9 and 3, 6, 9, and 12, it constitutes the ever-present code of law, which never grows old or ancient. Neither earth, water, air, heat, light, or electricity will ever grow old or ancient, Moors. Neither woman, sons, and the letters of the alphabet will ever grow old or ancient, nobles, the whole of which comprise the one great body of the ever-present living truth, which therefore is not a mystery and neither a secret. Do y'all agree with what I'm saying, nobles? So all secret orderisms involving religion, symbolism, and mystic passwordism are our own ignorance of the realities which dwell within us and about us, that which individuals have in their minds. Unexpressed is a secret. Anything in your mind that's unexpressed is a secret. Having expressed to another that in mind, then the great secret has been exposed to the outer world. So I want us to understand that the subconscious mind is the inner world, referred to as the all-seeing eye. Our reasoning mind is the outer world, referred to as the light of the world, all of which derive from the woman, the creator of all sons, in the course of 9 months, from conception to birth. Thus the woman is the grand master architect of and the carpenter of the human body and mind, which makes all ones Muslims. I'm a Moor. What makes you a Muslim? Just like when a Goofy said, where did white people come from? They Muslim too. If you understand, they come from their mother. Right. So don't get me with that stupid stuff. Muslims, regardless to the shade of skin and color of the eyes, all male babies are sons of 9 months from conception to birth. In Christian mythology, the number 9 have many names, most common of which are Nin, Nim, Nimrod, and Nun. So I'll leave that. We got to understand this science, man. So I want us more not to be misconstrued with the term Muslim. Muslim implies the work of nature involving the human body from conception to birth on the right angle motion or square of 90 degrees and the great circle of the earth comprised 360 degrees. See, this is facts. Squared by the number 9. 9 goes into 360 degrees how many times? 40. This is the number 40, which involved the Christian order or the clannish society of the Europeans or the Albans, whatever you want to call it. See, I'm just stating facts. So as we end with that secret number 9 involving woman and child, the 12 signs of the zodiac is referred to as the rejected stone, in your Christian Bible, nobles. That's the secret. The stone that the sociologists of the Christian world rejected in the days of the old becomes the head corner of the atomic age. And I'm done. I'll leave it at that. We'll leave it open for discussion next week. I challenge us all to become students. That's the only way you can learn. That's the only way you're going to learn from me. And there's nothing wrong with being part of something. There's nothing wrong with giving donations to a true teaching, because if you came to the temple, you would donate. We have a full library, nobles. We have a full library with over 15 books and manuscripts. Everything that I have is for donations. You can get the original Clock of Destinies for only a small donation of $40. The originals. All my books be originals. So inbox me. If you send a donation and you want this book, Goodman, Goodman, Khary, Khary @gmail.com. $40 donation.
Show the page. I want to see how yours is set up versus the one that I had.
I don't know how you put it. All depends on how you printed yours.
Well, open yours up. I just want to see the inside real quick. Yo. Oh, okay.
Yours like that?
No, mine's not clean like that. I need to get that copy. I don't have that copy. I have a copy, but it ain't that.
I think I sent you. I think all y'all might have different copies of them, because I'll be sending so many different versions of them.
Yeah.
But with that being said, nobles, I love y'all. Gratitude. Any questions, man?
I do. One day, not sure, maybe we can plan it or whatever. When we live, that some people can ask questions based upon the content and information, and get kind of like a question and answer. Just draw people in so that they can understand and have some type of understanding. That way they can be more amped to, hey, you know what, that made sense. He broke that down so eloquently.
Yeah.
I asked a question that pertained to scholarship, because you talk about how you're teaching, and we have to be asking questions based upon content. Now, like, oh, well, how do I get my ID? Would not be the question of content, because we ain't even talking about that.
Islam.
So, it'd be nice to open the floor to guests, that are live at one point for maybe like 30 minutes. Just have a 30-minute dialogue
Islam.
with some of the guests, and maybe you could ask some of us some of the questions that they ask, and maybe we be able to answer them. So we're actually just being involved with the community.
And the pendulum swing both ways. I'm not gonna. I tell you like this. I would do that if those that want questions asked to give a small $5 donation or something like that, because I'm not gonna just sit and nobody just answer. I'm not gonna sit and answer a million questions all day, just everything that fly off a person's head. So I believe if a person is serious about what they're doing, a small $5 or $10 donation won't be hard, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask about an ID. A lot of people are going to ask about this. And if they watch a lot of my films already, I already answered that ID is for it's a lot of things that's already been answered.
I'm not saying answer that ID question. I'm saying we ain't going to be talking about no ID. We're going to talk about self.
Okay. So that's why. So you got to, before we do that, Malik, you got to let the ground rules to be said. I'm not answering no dumb questions that I'm not going to be answering about no ID, nobody. I'm not going to be answering about what somebody did or that. That ain't what I'm here to do.
You want to learn about the science, then we hear about the science.
So if it's science questions, yes, Noble. If it's I heard or I think or that or none of that, or no colorable, crazy law stuff that you trying to ask me some trick questions that we do to each other, you know what I'm gonna do. So I'm pre-warning anybody that come with that craziness. If you come with certain energy, I'm gonna give it right back. And that's how I come. If you come with a dumb question, I'm gonna be like, the answer to that dumb shit.
Well, I guess, they type them so we can pick and choose what questions that we address.
Okay.
And, if you don't address your question, then, hey, sorry for you.
I understood. Understood, Noble. It's all understood. Man, that's why we challenge Noble and Malik. That's why we ask brothers and sisters to be students. Because I wouldn't want to just keep asking the person questions. If I say I'm a more and I'm not part of any body of learning, I want to be a part of something and give something monthly to where I can be a part of this, to where my questions will be asked, because it'll be asked systematically. I'll be able to read and ask questions and have a clear understanding instead of jumping all over the place. So I throw it right back at people. I'm like, what, you want me to just answer a question for you? And then what? You want to ask me another question, and then what? You want to ask me another question? Okay, well, I answer your question, now what? You want to ask me a question how to write some writ? See, I know what people gonna ask me, Malik, because I know how this science done came to criminality goofy shit. Or how to write writ, or how to drive without license. All that criminality shit, I'm gonna go ham, and I'm gonna stop, and you know it. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen.
I'll just give an example of how we read out of the Exhumed of the Nation, and you break down things and give clarity and etymology breakdowns and things of that nature. So then, like on this is just an example. Then, like on Tuesday, you can say, "Hey, anybody have a question? Get your questions prepared, and we'll answer questions based upon what we did on Tuesday."
Now watch this. I'm gonna follow back with you because I love dialogue. That's why I love my brothers because you sharpen me and I sharpen you. Okay, so here it is. I'm teaching out of something you don't even have, and then you get to ponder on it, and we come back the next day. You can't even pick up what I've read. You won't even take the time to buy the literature that people sell for a lot to get the literature for $40. Not only have it for yourself and bless somebody else, but you need the literature to be able to even conjure what I'm saying. So when it's over, if I'm in a position of learning, I'm going to get the wisdom, I'm going to read up on it, and then I'm going to base my questions off that. I'm not going to base my questions just off hearing somebody one time, because I'm going to be so overwhelmed with the illumination, with the science, with the simplicity. I want to touch it for myself. So I wouldn't have no questions. I would write notes. I would want to read it. I would be intrigued. That's me. I'll be intrigued. I would want to learn. I wouldn't have no whole bunch of questions myself as a student. I wouldn't. I would be intrigued and I would want to learn. So when you talk about you coming from Clock of Destiny, if I got it or if I think I got it and I ain't ever open it up and I don't have it and I'm willing, I need to get that. I need to get that. And so that's me. That's me. There you go. Because how can you learn? Why would I? So if we going over the Clock of Destiny and you keep showing up and you don't even have a Clock of Destiny, and we get in Clock of Destiny Volume 1, because I was just in the preface. I didn't even get in the whole volume, and we started going over this. You're gonna be lost.
True.
You're gonna be lost. You're gonna be asking a whole bunch of questions. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And you're gonna be like, the sheik just.
That's why you should become a student.
Now you understand what I'm saying. I'm a teacher. And you coming from a student perspective. I get everything you saying from Noble. I'm answering the question the best way if I can. If you was someone asking me, I would say be a student. Just like if you was coming in my martial arts class and you watching and you looking online, you like, man, I want to learn the martial arts. I say you can't be a martial arts student by just jumping on my page.
Right. Islam.
So I get what you're saying, and I will answer people questions, but they have to be based on the teachings.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. Exactly that.
So gratitude to that. I don't want to be too long. I know we got to work out, Noble. Islam?
Yeah. Islam.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Ash, Hotep, Islam, peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace. Do y'all want to log off and log back in? Anybody have something?
Peace, peace. No.
Gratitude. Do we need to log off and log back in for workout? Hey, Bailey. Islam to you, Empress. Islam, Noble Alonzo.
Yeah, I think we can. I said we can just stop the recording and restart it.
Okay, I'll stop it then. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there you go. I'll stop it. All right, I stopped it now, and then we'll just start back in whenever y'all ready. Okay, Nobles? Yep. But gratitude to all y'all, man. We done. I'm just still talking on social media until we get started working out. I just want to give my social media information to those that's live. Once again, Morris, if you're interested, my Gmail is Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY @gmail.com. If you're interested in any books, especially today's teaching, I was coming from the Clock of Destiny Volume 1 and 2, but I was also speaking on Supreme Mathematics. But if you want Clock of Destiny Volume 1 and 2, $40 donation to Cash App $KGBay. Once you send that $40 donation, please screenshot it to the email I gave you, Goodman, KHARY @gmail.com, and I will promptly email you your PDF book. Or I have one of my Muftahs do it. I have a full library, and my Mutas are creating their online library page. But right now, if you look me up on Instagram, it's A Jelani Moore's Book Club, AJELANI Moore's Book Club, and you can get PDF books from me for small donations. We also have our own webpage. It's bbtsciencetemple.com. Please inquire on there. Become a member and a student. It'll be worth it. Your monthly contribution will be worth it. I guarantee you. We're also on Instagram at burningbushtabernacle.ts. And we ask Morris, hey, if you like the teachings, there's nothing wrong with supporting the teachings. If you want a fez, if you want turban, if you don't have any Moorish American regalia, you can get all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more at www.morrishaberdasher.com. Once again, that's www.morrishaberdasher.com. And you can get all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. Man, I got a noble that does web pages. On Instagram is ALO Graphic Designs. Man, he done our web page for our temple and school, and he does amazing work. I tell all nobles, you want to be professional and you want to do business with Moors that really do business. Also, if you're interested in setting yourself up as a business, me and my noble Barclay, we have 2 sessions where we charge $200. The first session is we show you how to get your EIN. We show you how to register on Duns and Bradstreet. We show you to get your articles of organization to open your bank account. And then the second session is we show you how to get quick 30s. We show you how to get quick 30 accounts to build your business credit before you even buy anything. And then we have a whole nother platform for a whole year if you want consultation for a small yearly fee, and we will show you and help you to build your business credit. And it usually takes a year. All legit. And that's what we do, because we are a real organization. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. More science for the whole family. More science is nothing criminal. And more science, we understand that is knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, and nature. Islam and peace. You ready to work out, Empress?